Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, man, today is the what? The 30th? One more day and the year is over and we enter 2023. Hey, for first time listeners, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning talk. The goal is just to give you something inspirational in the morning to get you through the day because through the day we can encounter so much negativity. We just need something to start off, give us the balance of the day. But yes, guys, we were talking about the end of year fast. So who haven't done it, just got to Beverly Gomes. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Yes, who talking about the end of year fast? You just got what? A day more, even to push in a 1 day fast, a couple hours fast, or something to the start. But yes, guys, because tomorrow is the day when we all good morning, Jillian. Good morning. When we can be tuning into these broadcasts or going to church, and we can hearing all about these seeds to throw. You can hearing a lot of false teaching. Dexter, big bro, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, you can hear in all of these things. Terry Pilgrim, good morning. How are you doing today? Yeah, you can hear in all of these gospels tomorrow night about, throwing all these seeds and all the things we're going to do because lots of people got New Year's resolutions. Lots of people got things troubling them and they're vulnerable and they're waiting to hear something good. Some get some hope of how the situation can change going into the new year. That's why we set all these resolutions and in the first week, 2 weeks, we gone back to the behavior that we were going to because it's a lot of things. And throwing the big money in church tomorrow night when the preacher's going to tell you, throw this seed. Ron Mears, good morning. How are you doing? When the preacher's going to tell you, throw all this big seed and all the things can go well with you and all your problems can disappear for the new year. You're going to have such a great year. I'm trying to show you what the things you need to do to get those breakthrough, right? So today, remember, we talk about a lot of things. The end of the year fast, clean out your heart, unforgiveness. If you got unforgiveness on your heart, there's one reason why you're not getting your breakthroughs. Unforgiveness. God said when you stand praying, forgive others, and then I will forgive you. If you don't forgive others, He would not forgive you. So we need the forgiveness to get any breakthroughs. We talk about praying God's will. Anything you ask Him for, make sure it's lined up with your will. The whole purpose of the fast is get you aligned with His destiny, right? To make sure you're praying what's His will, because He knows better than us, right? He said there's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, it can end in death or destruction. So a lot of things can seem right to us and we want, but we got to make sure it's His will, right? And, we talk about giving to the poor, as Isaiah 58 laid out, the genuine fast when the Israelites were fasting and didn't get no results and they was complaining. And the prophet told them, man, this is the kind of God tell him, go and tell them for me. Go and tell them why I'm not listening to them. And he said it was quarreling and strife and all of that while on the fast. So he said, clean out your heart, right? Before you go into fast. Then he tell them what a genuine fast look like. You give to the poor while you fast and give back pretty much. So today I want to look at the next story. When Queen Esther, what she did when she needed some extra help. Queen Esther, go and read the book of Esther. You can get the whole thing. I can paraphrase a little bit and I can pick it up from 4. But long story short, Esther become queen, right? Esther was a Jew, she become queen. Her uncle Mordecai helped her to get there. You could go and read the story for the sake of time. But anyhow, she's the queen right now. But I had this guy, this King Xerxes, and he had this guy Haman. He had make his right hand man, right? He had make this guy's right hand man Haman. And this guy, powerful, everybody bowing to him, he's second in command pretty much. But I got this guy Mordecai, which is Esther's uncle. He refused to bow down to him and all of that. And some other the people saw that and tell Haman, say, man, this man don't respect you, man. This man don't bow to you like how we do. What's up with that? And then Haman was upset with Mordecai for not bowing down to him. So he said, you know what? Oh, he's a Jew? All right. I'm not happy about just killing him. I want to kill all the Jews. I can kill all the Jews. I'm going to get revenge from him for disrespecting me like this. right? So he set a plot and go and tell the king. He write this note that these people don't respect you. The God people don't respect you, and you want to kill all of them on this particular day. You want to kill all of them. He even said he can put some money into the treasury, just to wipe these people out. The king said, keep your money, but sign off on the letter we sent to all the provinces and everything to kill these people on a certain day, right? So that's where we are. This letter go out. All the Jews is going to die in a particular day. So Mordecai decided to ask Esther. I remember Esther's a Jew. The king didn't really know she was a Jew. So Mordecai pretty much telling Esther, look, you're a Jew too. You got to do something. You got to help us out here. So let's go through quickly 4, and we're going to see what Esther did. Just what I'm telling people to do when you need extra help, when you're in a bind, when you're in a situation, where you turn to. All right, so quickly in Esther 4, it said when Mordecai learned of all that he had done, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the city, wailing loudly and bitterly. But he went only as far as the king's gate, because no one clothed in sackcloth was allowed to enter it. Sackcloth is the clothes where they put on when they're fasting and stuff like that. All right, so he went as far as the king's gate, allowed to enter it. In every province to which the edict and order of the king came, there was great mourning among the Jews. With fasting, weeping, and wailing, many lay in sackcloth. So you see the Jews of themselves, when they hear this thing come down from the king. Because usually when a king make a decree like that, it cannot be reversed. When he sign off on it with a signet ring, it cannot be reversed. Understand that? It cannot be reversed. The king cannot say, oh, well, I was wrong. This man tricked me. Let me take this back. Renita, good morning. Karen McKinn, good morning. So the king cannot take this back now. He done sign off that the Jews must die, right? So you see what the Israelites do? They fast. They fast, right? Well, let's go down some more. When Esther, eunuchs, and female attendants came and told her about Mordecai, she was in great distress. She sent clothes for him to put on instead of the sackcloth, but he would not accept them. Then Esther summoned Hathach, one of the king's eunuchs, assigned to attend her, and order him to find out what was troubling Mordecai and why. Remember, this is Esther 4 we're reading. What was troubling Mordecai? She don't know why Mordecai is so sad. Why my uncle is so sad. Find out what's going on, man. Find out what's going on. I don't like to see my uncle that's sad. So Hathach went out to Mordecai in the open square of the city, in front of the king's gate. Mordecai told him everything that had happened to him, including the exact amount of money Haman had promised to pay in the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews. So the man said, look, go and tell Esther, Haman had promised to put money so all of the Jews can be wiped out. This is why I'm so sad. Michelle Blair, good morning. This is why I'm so sad. This man paid money to wipe us out, right? He also gave him a copy of the text of the edict for their annihilation, which had been published in Susa, to show to Esther and explain it to her. And he told him to instruct her to go into the king's presence to beg mercy and plead with him for his people. So Mordecai is saying, Esther, you got to help us here. You got to go and beg the king for us. You got to go into the king and beg the king for us. For those who join in, we're talking about when you need help, what you do when you really need help, right? So Mordecai said, man, Esther, you got to help us out. Go into the king and beg for our mercy. But here was the problem. Esther had been doing that. Hathach went back and reported to Esther what Mordecai had said. Then she instructed him to say to Mordecai, all the king's officials and the people of the royal province know that any man or woman who approaches the king in the inner courts without being summoned, the king has the law. The king has one law, that they be put to death unless the king extends a golden scepter to them and spare their lives. So Queen Esther said, Mordecai, you crazy? I can't go into the king. Everyone know the law. If you go into the king without he inviting you in, the law is death. It's death. If I only go in there, anyone going there without being invited, is death. And then she went on to tell him, on unless the king extend the scepter, then and spares your life. The scepter is a golden, like a little kind of stick the king has in his hands, and if he point it out to you, that mean he inviting you in. He inviting you into him, right? So that's what it means. But she's saying, but 30 days have passed since I've not called to go into the king. She's saying it's 30 days now. The king didn't invite me to come into his chambers there. So she's saying, man, I can't do that, Mordecai, you know. So this is what Mordecai told her. When Esther's words were reported to Mordecai, he sent back this answer. Do not think that because you're in the king's house, you alone of all the Jews will escape. And Mordecai said, don't think because you're the queen. You're a Jew also, and this note said to kill all Jews. So you're going to die also, Esther. You're going to die also, right? For it remain, because all the king's house, you alone of the Jews will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance from the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to the royal position for such a time. So the man said, look, we can get help. This man Mordecai was so confident. I like how he hold on his God. He said, God can help us from another source. But you and your family are going to perish. You're going to perish. He said, who knows? You probably become king just for this time to save your people. You probably became queen and get into the palace just for this time to save your people. So, but we can get help if you don't want to help us. We're going to get help. But you see, Esther now get catch what we talk about in between a rock and a hard place. Esther said, if I don't go into the king and try, I'm going to die. And me and all my people are going to die. If I do go in without permission, I am going to die, and my people can still die. So she's like between a rock and a hard place. What do I do? And that's why I want to tell us, how much of us is in those situations right now? We got stuff that's bothering us. We got stuff that we want to change. We don't know what to do. It's like a no-win situation we in. And that's why I'm saying, and people can pray on us tomorrow night. When we're in those situations, they're going to tell us this is the way out. The bigger you give, God going to take care of your situation, and you're vulnerable because you got these situations, and you're going to be tempted to give them because you just want any hope to hold on right now because you got this situation. So Esther was in this same situation here. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. If I go into the king without permission, he's going to kill me. If I don't go in, everybody can die. So let's see how Esther handled this. And that's what I'm trying to tell us, how we need to get the help that we need, right? So this is how Esther handled this right now. Right? Well, before we go into that, let me read this little scripture. Let me give you another little scripture here. What about to happen? Right? It said Proverbs 21:1. Proverbs 21:1. Here it says, in the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who please him. Proverbs 21:1. In the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who please him. So this saying here, it didn't say a good king, evil king, what type of king. He said all kings. In the king's heart, God could change even a pagan king's heart to do what he want to do. This is the next scripture. But he's saying this in the king's heart, in the Lord's hand, the heart of the king is like a stream of water, and God could channel it to those who please him, right? So here what Queen Esther do. She probably know this scripture too. She probably know the scripture. So, but here what she do. She got to get God's help. How do I get God's attention? Right? So here what she did now. This is Esther 4. We on to 15. Here what Esther did. Then Esther sent this reply to Mordecai. Go gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. See why I'm encouraging people to end the year fast? She knows she got this impossible task. She said, get up all the people and y'all fast for me. They were already fasting for the situation. Remember earlier up here, they were fasting. But she said, y'all got to go and do a fast for me. Fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. She's saying, y'all fast, and me and my attendants here in the palace, we can also fast. Y'all got to fast for me. Because if I only go to the king, the law is if I go and approach the king without being invited in, is death. So the only chance I got is a fast. Y'all fast to me. I remember this one here. He said, the Lord, in the Lord's hand, the king heart is like a stream of water that he can channel toward the people who pleases him. So Esther got to do something to please the Lord, forget this king heart to be channeled towards her. Right? So she didn't throw a big set of money. She said, I'm going to fast. That's how I can get the Lord's attention to help me, right? So she tell them, so me and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. He said, I going on a fast, and I going to the king. If I die, I die. But this is the only chance I got. If I don't go, I'm going to die. If I do go, I stand a chance of dying. But on a fast, it giving me a chance. It giving me a chance if I go on a fast. I have them people to fast for me. So here what happened in 5 now. So Mordecai went away and carried out all Esther's instructions. So Mordecai went and told the people, look, we got to fast for Queen Esther. We got to go and fast for Queen Esther, right? So Mordecai going to get all the people for fast, her and her attendants fast. So let's jump into 5 quickly and see the results of the fast and what happened after she fasted, right? So on the 3rd day, Esther put on her royal robe and stood in the inner courts of the palace. Esther looked like, you know what? If I'm going to die, I'm going to die going down pretty. Esther pretty up herself, put on her royal robe. She's saying, look, if he going to kill me, he going to kill me looking pretty. Or I can go, I going in here looking pretty. I might change his mind. 30 days he didn't see me. So I going and looking pretty in front of him. So she put on a royal robe and in the inner courts of the palace in front of the king's hall. The king was sitting on his royal throne in the hall facing the entrance. When he saw Queen Esther standing in the court, that's the time the king's supposed to tell all those guys, get her and kill her, because I didn't invite her in. The guards and everything was supposed to rush her and kill her at the time, because there's a law. If you come in there without being invited, you're going to die. But here what happened. The king was sitting on his royal throne in the hall facing the entrance. When he saw Queen Esther standing in the court, he was pleased with her and held out his golden scepter that was in his hand. So when he hold her out now, that means he accept her. No dying. He didn't kill her. He put out his scepter and accept her, welcome her in. So Esther approaches and touches the tip of the scepter. So when she touched the tip of the scepter, now she accepts the invitation to come in. But here we're going on here now. Then the king asks, what is it, Queen Esther? What is your request? She's supposed to die. Now he asking her. He's so nice to her now. She's supposed to die with coming in there without being invited in. But no, he's so nice to her. What is your request? Even up to half the kingdom. Even if half the kingdom it will be given to you. Say, if you ask me for half the kingdom, Queen Esther, I'll give it to you. Why are you so nice? Let's go back to Proverbs 21:1. In the Lord's hand, the king's heart is a stream of water that he channels towards all who pleases him. So she pleases him by this fast. So he channels the king's heart towards her. Now she could get up to half of the kingdom where she should have been dead. Right? So I'm showing you. So then the king asks, if it pleases the king, this is Esther replying, if it pleases the king, reply Esther, let the king together with Haman come today to a banquet I have prepared for him. The king said, bring Haman at once. The king said, so that we may do what the queen asks. Now, he taking orders from her. She said, I want you and Haman at the banquet. He said, okay, tell Haman, come. Let's do what the queen asks us to do. Guys, I'm going to go on. And then she going to save them. If you go on, this is a great story at the end of here. All because of this fast. This same guy, Haman, now, he was so mad with Mordecai, and he built a gallows to hang Mordecai on. Long story short, because of all this fast, he ended up getting hung on his own gallows. But that story is for the next day. That's the next teaching. But I want to just show you the protocol. See, these Jews know the protocol. Remember when Jesus had bring the boy to the guy father, when the disciples couldn't get out the demon out of the boy when he was sick, and he bring it to Jesus. Jesus get out the demon, and Jesus, them disciples were amazed, and they said, Jesus, we couldn't do it. We tried and we couldn't do it. How come? And Jesus tell them, tell them about the faith and all that. But then he also said this kind could only come out with prayer and fasting. This kind. So, I mean, he got certain things that we're going to be going through. We need some fasting to go along with it to help us. He tell them this kind. And they didn't fast it. Remember, they didn't fast it because he tell, when those Pharisees was asking Jesus, why your disciples don't fast? And everybody, yes, guys, you see what I'm showing you? If you guys still there, and Lily saying, all of a sudden the internet, my phone just stopped, no internet connection, which is strange. The enemy don't want us to get out this message, but I'm going to finish it. But yes, so when those Pharisees would ask Jesus, why your disciples not fasting? He said, because I'm here. I'm the power of fasting. They don't need to fast when I'm here. But when I leave, they must fast. When I leave, they must fast, right? So I'm telling you guys, that's why I'm encouraging you to get the things that really troubling you, struggling year after year after year, and can't seem to change, and you really need to change it. You really, your heart want to change it. This is the protocol you need to follow to get the impossible. You get the supernatural backup fast, and you take yourself out of the way and say, God, I need your help. You humble yourself to him and say, I need your help. I can't do this alone. I need your help. And he's going to reach out just like this story here and help you, right? So I'm going to leave that there, guys, but have yourself a happy new year. So tomorrow, just be careful. Don't be misled and be used. Those resolutions that you have that's troubling year after year. Try something different that you never tried before. Try going on a fast and put it to God and ask him for his help and see the results you would get. All right, guys, so have a happy new year. I'm going to see everyone again and talk to you guys in 2023, which is on Monday. All right, have a great day, guys, and enjoy your new year. Remember, again, everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. Talk to you guys on Monday. Goodbye.